Yeah, so we are back. Shout out to the channels down below. It's Jerry's channel, that's When the Buildings Cried, and Derek's channel is Spartan Red. Links is down below, so go and check them out, subscribe them and all that shit, so you can and hit the bell so you can get notification when they upload new stuff. If you're interested in content like I present, and if you get addicted to truth like me, Jerry and Derek do, then you should check out their channels. And by the way, Derek and Jerry, thank you for yesterday's stream. It was very fun. And I look forward to next Wednesday so we can do it again. Yeah, let's just get fucking started here so we can look at some of these pictures. And as always, I personally I don't give a fuck where most of these pictures is located. But up in the left corner you can see the picture name, because I just right click and hit save when I find the pictures. So the picture names is here, and you can see it's Atlas Mountain in Africa, for example. They are named different stuff, some is just numbers and fuck, but if you care, so maybe you can find it there. But yeah, let's just get started. So here you can see this mountain. You can notice a little hint of red still from the fucking red bricks. Some mountains is very red, some is just a little bit, and some is not red at all. It depends on how cooked they was and how much carbon 14 is left. So this one might have a slight amount of the carbon color here. But you can see, I can zoom in a little bit on this one. You can see up here it's more, the brick lines turn more into a fucking block lines here. And up here. And when you go a little bit more down, you see more lines here, brick lines. All over here. And at the bottom you see it's more dustified, more like mud or sand. And here is also just, this was liquid lava building, so this is just sand. And you can also notice A-frames here all over the place. So yeah, this was a building and it melted, and now it looks like this hellhole. Okay, it's very disgusting to see this. Many people walk and they travel to places and see stuff like this, and they say, oh, look at this beautiful mountain. But all I see is a devastated building, and it's almost like I want to puke. But that's just where we live, in a wrecked realm, so I just have to survive a little bit longer, so that's okay. So yeah, here you see the red color, you see tops of buildings here, and you see A-frames here, melted down, all melted down this way, downwards. So yep, we go next shit. Yeah, here you see block lines. You notice a slight hint of red, more block lines up here, some brick lines there, and here is a very liquefied building, very sandy here at the bottom, a little bit sandy here too. And you notice how these lines go like this way, but this one's is more like this. So this part here must have sunk down into the ground and got fucking twisted and shit, and yeah, liquid ground here. So that's what happened to that motherfucker here. Yeah, you see block lines up at the top. Notice the red overall here, and down here is more block lines, and you see pancake brick lines. Down, 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 down. In like waves here. And look at this part here. Looks like this one flipped over. All these brick lines here. And this one here is sliding down. And then it hardened real fast, like solidified and stopped very fast. It's so weird, like it happened in 1 second. It's very fucked up. But that's what it looks like. You can even get mortar snot and shit, bricks in fucking mid-air, and then they freeze. Rock curtains and all that, it just stopped, like time stopped. I don't know how that happened, but that's what it looks like. So here is more dust and shit. So yeah, this was all a building. This was all a building. This was all buildings. All of this shit. So here you see A-frames here. You see how rocky, messed up that part is here too. All this was buildings. Here A-frames melted down. Okay, so off in the distance here you can see what looks like brick lines or block lines, and you see tons of A-frames here all over the place, and you see here you can see a little bit of red, it looks like, and here is more red, and a lot of growing trees here. You also, if you don't see this yet, I bet most of you watching do, but if you don't, this vegetation here is hiding a lot of the, like, how it truly looks like. So that's why sometimes it's a little harder to see, but when you first see it, you can't unsee it. So you know this is all buildings. This was a fucking enormous city here. And before those motherfuckers melted, imagine this being the top of the building here. And this is another one. So they all melt down and glide out like this and towards us here. But before they melted, they must have been fucking huge fucking buildings. Who knows how big. And then they melt down like ice cream. Like they melt down and they are not as tall anymore because they melt down and spread outwards. So this is just the remains of what used to be building. So how tall was they? Who the fuck knows? But they must have been very, very, very fucking tall. And here you see the same tops of buildings here. I'd find the pen again. You see domes here, and you see some lines here, block lines, brick lines, melting down. All this shit melting down, coming down here. All this shit wanna go down. Here you see more lines here. Layered lines going down. So yeah, all buildings here. Look at all the lines and shit. And look at the fucking rock curtain here. How the fuck is this even possible? Like you have this, all this shit melting over, and then it didn't fall down here. You can see how far in it goes under here. Why the fuck didn't it fall down? Who the fuck knows? And under it you can see all these rocks and shit. Stones and rocks. Used to be red brick, look at red there. And what you also notice is here you see the water stream. The irrigation systems is very often still working for some reason. How? I don't know. Where do the water come from? I don't fucking know, but I wanna know, so I just mention it. Just notice in some of the pictures, if you see water, where the fuck is the water coming from? Here is like tops of buildings. Very block liney here. I can zoom in. You see a little brick lines. Here is more blocky. The top, very rocky here and fucked up. Melted to shit. And here you can see more almost like bricks here. And then you see the layers down, melting down here, dustified on this side, stones and rocks, dustified, and in the background all liquid melted buildings. Like all of my pictures. Yeah, you notice a little bit of red, and oh fuck, I had to zoom in because I had to draw here. Do you notice this going down here and in there, and then it comes down like this and into this, and then far off into the fucking distance there? Is that a water stream coming down, irrigation again, flowing down, coming from this building and this building? Looks like it, yeah. And yeah, you see how it melted down towards the center here. So yeah, this is all buildings, all fucking buildings. And this too, notice the red. And building, 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 building. All is buildings. Justified here, and this turned into rocks. Here is a road. And rubble and rocky here. And you have to also notice like how most of these pictures, how there is nothing but melted buildings and trees there, okay? Because we have people or entities like Bill Gates of hell and all those who have said for many years now, oh, we are overpopulated. And now the people who say we are overpopulated and have said for a long time wanna save us with a fucking vaccine. To me that does not make sense, and that's a red flag, and you know that. But yeah, you see how empty it is. There is nothing here but melted buildings. I don't say this is the best place to live because it's so dried out, but the other locations where you still can find water and all that shit. So we are like programmed to be stacked in cities like ants, animals, like cattle, like a farm. But if you just drive 15-20 minutes out of the cities, it's just fucking empty. It's nothing there. So all the people live in cities, or most of them. I don't, because fuck the city. They live in the city, and they are always surrounded by all these people, so they think they are overpopulated. But they don't think about, oh, just go 15 minutes out from the city and it's fucking empty. There is plenty of space for people here. So all life matters, all lives matters. So those motherfuckers who wants to get rid of us, Georgia Guidestones, down to 500 millions, this is the people we have to fucking expose. That's why I make these goddamn videos and shit, so people can wake up to some of the true reality of this wrecked realm we live in, because I'm fucking sick and tired of all the brain dead people. And now they even wear the fucking masks and they shout, I can't breathe. No wonder they can't breathe, because you have a fucking mask on your face, you stupid fucking cunt. Take off the mask and you can breathe. God damn. Yeah, this is all melted buildings, and here is the same. You see the block lines up here at the top. This is all buildings. It melted down, and here is water, so it formed like new land here when it melted. And look at all the trees growing here, and or vegetation at least. I don't know if it's trees or bushes, but yeah, it doesn't matter too much. Look at how rocky that is, how it wants to go blocky here. Look at the arch. Used to be an arch, messed up building, all rocky down here. Melted building as fuck. And yeah, this is the same as the previous, just another angle. So you see the A-frames here again. See the melted A-frames, the buildings, tops of buildings here, A-frames, all melted to fucking shit. Notice the red, and down at the bottom, the so-called beach or sand is just dustified, melted. It was like lava, and it got dried up and broke into sand. This looks very sandy too. Just it still has a lot of the red fucking color in it. Notice how it all melted down towards the water here. Came down, sliding down here. You have to be fucking blind if you can't see all this shit wants to go down. This shit here, all this shit wants to go down. Came down here. And then it was a fucking ocean of liquid building here at the top. All this shit was liquid building. And the ocean came in after. This was liquid building here. And here you have melted building. And we have the brain dead people. They say this looks like the Devil's Tower, and you know you have heard about the Devil's Tower. And they say it was like lava and shit coming up, and then it hardened up and formed this fucking shape here. And then you have tree stump people who say, it's a tree stump. No, but it's a melted building. That's all it is. So you can see how it formed these columns, but all this shit was viscous and stuff, so it formed to the heat field, the grid and shit. That's why you got these columns. It expanded and did all this shit. That's why it's not a tree stump or a fucking volcano lava explosion shit. And at the bottom you see how it turned into stones, and yeah, like looks a little bit like gravel and sand mixed together here. And at the bottom it's fine grains of sand dustified to shit. And this is the Devil's Tower. It's the same thing. You see the columns the same shape. It's just a building, it's not a tree stump. And down at the bottom is dustified, and up in the skies is fucking chemtrails. So yeah, this is a tree stump to the right, and this is a melted building to the left. Do they look similar? Yeah, a little bit, but you have to just study these pictures and see how you see the fucking red bricks here, the color and all. This was all melted down. You can see the shape in the sand here. All this shit became dustified at the bottom, very hot, and it started to spread outwards. It's just a fucking melted building. It's not a tree stump. No, it's not. The same thing here. This is a tree stump to the left. This is a melted building. It's very flat on the top. It's melted, but it came down, melted, spreading out. It's not a fucking tree stump. Well, same thing here. Just a goddamn melted building. Very flat on the top again. Melted down. Very flat around it on the bottom here. And lots of vegetation. Probably a lot of liquid building here. The trees love that shit. And here it's the same. They say it's a giant tree stump. But you need to notice here. The red. You can see the block lines here, like this, and you have to see how it looks pretty squarey to me. So this is also just a melted building. It was very huge, but that's how they built back in the day. So notice the fucking water coming down here. That's the irrigation system, and here and here. Probably all fucking around here is a little small stream. But do you see any fucking ocean on the top here? I don't. Where is the fucking water coming from? I wanna know that shit. It's coming It's some kind of water technology that's still working after this devastation. It's how the fuck? I don't know. Yeah, and then you have the Titan asshole believers. Oh, it's a face. No, it's not. This might have been a window in the melted building, or it might have just melted down and formed these two holes here and this nose for some reason, just because it's just melting. It will do what it wanna do, and then it hardened up and formed things that might remind you of a fucking face. Doesn't mean it's a goddamn petrified giant's face, you fucking dumb shit. Just look, it's just a melted building. You see the same all around here, like in all my videos. It's the same signs here. It's just a fucking building. It's not the fucking face. Fuck those people. Oh, those people. Same thing. Oh, it's the head and the shoulder and the leg here. No, it's a melted building. You can see the waving here. How it, yeah, the layers upon layers. It's just, here is a block line twisted and all messy. It's just a fucking melted building, okay? Which happens to look like a giant who is laying down and resting here or sleeping, but it's not. It's just a fucking building. It's melting and it will do what it wanna do. And if you think it's a fucking giant, trust me, I used to think so too, but then I found out I had pareidoia. So yeah, look up that and see what it means. It's the same. It's not an elephant. This is just happened to melt down and form this, or this was a window. I don't fucking know, but it's all just concrete here. Look, it's just concrete and melted building. Look at this shit. It's not a fucking petrified Titan elephant. It's nonsense. It's the blind leading the blind, and if we keep doing that, we will never find the fucking truth. Same thing, they say it's a petrified Titan turtle. They drew the eye here, like the head and the shell here. No, you see the same signs as in all my videos. Melted down. It's just melted building. It's just nothing more. In the background too, all melted building. It's not a fucking turtle. God damn. And here you see what looks like the forehead and the face here, the nose, the lips and the chin, throat, and then tits here, maybe, who the fuck knows, but it's all the same melted building. Sorry to disappoint you, but it's no fucking Titans, okay? It just happened to look like something like that. This is the melted building. It's the same as you see in all my fucking videos. It's nothing more. Same with this. You see all the signs around. They say this is the face here, but it's a fucking melted building. Please, fuck, my nose is itching. It's a fucking melted building, that's all. Yeah, you see the same how it all came down here. Devastated it. It used to be red bricks and now it looks like this. Melted, and they say this is the face. And this is the people I have to be surrounded with. When I go out in the public, I am surrounded by those people who say stuff like that. And it fucking drives me mad. Look at this man who thinks this is a fucking big footprint. It's just melted building here, and it happened to shape for some reason this pattern, and this man thinks it's a fucking giant footprint. Where is all the rest of them then? It's just melted building. Same here. This man thinks this is a footprint, but you can see here, what is this? You see the red color here? Yeah? Here, see the red? It's just red bricks melted, and for some reason it formed this pattern here, which might look like a foot. It's not a fucking footprint. It just might look like it because it's melted building. Yeah, and here I have some more skeletons. I don't know if they are Tartarian, but I will show you the pictures and talk, and you think what you see. Sorry. You think for yourself, and what do you see? Okay. So what you see around here looks very much like mud. Yeah. And we know there is no mud floods, but a lot of the buildings when they melted turned into fucking mud. So this man might have been buried by a brick mud flood. We can call it brick mud flood or brick flood. And he died there, and someone dug and found him. Is it a Tartarian, or was it someone who died in more recent time and got buried? I don't know. Just think about the brick floods and all that shit, and there has to be fucking more bodies than just the few on Pompeii. When you think about how fucking many people lived here when it was Tartaria. Yeah. So here is the same. You see the ground level here. You see even the grass and shit, and looks like just clay and mud, and just down, like not far down. I don't use like the feet measuring system, so I have no fucking clue how to say it in feet, but just like fucking 30 centimeters or something. And then you find this. Was he buried in this brick flood here? This mud brick flood? Or did he die in more recent time and someone dug him down? Because just remember, the history is wrong, and we was not primitive in the past, and yeah, all that shit. We are the primitive ones. We don't know anything at all. We are the fucking cavemen. Same thing to people here, and you see if this is the ground level, or yeah, they dig down and find this. Is these Tartarians covered in this clay mud or whatever the fuck it is? And also this stuff, these items here. I don't know if this was here with those people or if they was planted here just for the picture. I don't know. Because they try to hide a little bit of the history too, so could have been surviving items from these people or whatever the surroundings was before this event, or something else. But you see at least 2 buried people here, buried in this mud shit. It's the same here. Look at all the mud and the people buried here. And you see like it's all like they are facing the same way. So it's like they was watching the brick flood coming towards them, and just they knew they was going to die, so they just stood there and watched it or something. I have no idea. And here many people, and you see it's all just mud here. It's just mud. You can dig down here with a shovel and find, So what you need to do is dig up your fucking garden outside and see if you find some people. And then you can have the evidence of Tartarians. Is it Tartarians? Yeah, I think so. This guy looks fucking tall, or is it just me? Yeah, hold on here. This is the head. Yeah, it's cracked, I know. And it goes down. This is the hips here. And then his legs go his knees here, and then fucking all the way down there. And this guy is like from here to here. Is this a kid and this a grown up? All these kids? Or is this a bigger person here? I just noticed that shit. He looks much taller than the rest. What is this measuring? They have the measure here. You people who know what is How far is one of those? Is that inches or what the fuck is it? How tall is this guy? And here you see the mud all around. Look at this shit. And you see how they are positioned here. It's like the last kiss, if you know what I mean. You see it? So who knows? Just noticed it. So they maybe just laid down and kissed because they knew they was fucked by this brick mud flood. And here I need to do one little adjustment here because yeah. So here you see a lot of people buried in the mud. And what else do you see here? Red bricks. You see the fucking bricks here. Yeah, going down. How far? I don't know. And around, just mud. Mud flood. Brick flood. And buried people. Are they Tatarians? I think they might be, actually. Just found that interesting. More people buried in more mud. Brick flood. Not mud flood. Brick flood. That's what we call it. We get many new names. We have when you get buried in liquid building and it hardened up, so your body is like in solid concrete. Then you got melted buildinged. And then you have popcorn blocks, rock balloons. we are fucking making new names here, so new words, because we have to describe what we see. So yeah, I like rock balloons, by the way, Jerry. Balloon rocking, rock ballooning. I like that shit. So yeah, and brick floods and all that. I like that shit. More people buried in this fucking shit. Tatarians? Might be. And here you see like they're all shaped the same here in the arms and shit. So it's like they were standing and watching the brick flood coming towards them from here. And it was a powerful force. So they just fell backwards and like got blasted. And then they got solid in this fucking position here. So like as fucking imagine a tsunami just in a brick flood coming and taking you by you will like fucking get blasted back, you know. Or maybe something else happen. I just say what I see here or think or whatever. Need to find the truth somehow. Like this is deeply buried. Just looks just like sand. You see the footprints here by the fucking guys who dug this shit up. Looks more like just fucking sand or a little muddy and shit. So yeah, that was all the all pictures. I hope you found it interesting. I really like to dig up these pictures and analyze them and talk to you guys what I see. And if you enjoyed it, please, if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell so you get notification when I upload more shit. Hit the like, please, because it helps to beat YouTube's algorithm, because you know how that works. And check out the channels down below in the description. Yeah. So thanks for watching and goodbye.